And welcome back to another recording. This one will be the SSH configuration. Now this is basically a continuation from the basic configuration we did on the last video. So in this lab we've inserted a sniffer between PC 1 and router 1, and in Packet Tracer it's very easy, you just insert it, and then for configuration you decide which port is capturing the traffic. So in this case port 1, which is the exit, and port 0 is the incoming. So port 0 is facing our PC1, so it's going to capture traffic leaving the PC and going towards router 1. So our SS configuration will be on R1, but to start with, let's get into a little session here. Let's make sure we can still ping router 1, which is 192.168.1.1, and you can see ping went through. Now you can see here that our sniffer picked up those ICMP frames, and we can see what's going on. Now what we'll do is now telnet into 192.168.1.1, and we need to put in a password, which I think, yes, I remembered it. Need to change mode. So we've logged in and entered the mode. So now if we go back to our sniffer and we scroll down, we now have telnet. So if we're using Wireshark on live equipment, you could just keep track of one conversation aside, but it is still able to show that we are capturing each letter as it is being sent in clear text to the device. And we've just given our hacker our passwords for both the login and everything else. So this is bad. So let's jump in. We're in the telnet session in here, so we can do it via here. So jump into config terminal, and the first thing we want to do is create a domain name, and I'm going to use channelname.com, and create a user to log in with remote in with a secret password, so it's going to be encrypted, SSH in. Now normally you'd also put in your password lengths, minimum length and that for security, but I'm just going to go in and do basic SSH, the minimum that you need. So we now need to generate the keys, RSA modulus 1024. Whoop. Okay, maybe this one doesn't need the modulus. Okay, so this version doesn't need to define, it'll ask you the key size. Obviously the bigger the better, so I could have chosen 1024, just would have taken a little bit, but you get the idea. So we now have the keys generated, we have a domain name, we have a remote user login credential, and now we need to go to our line V2Y04. There you go. It needs to be at least 768 for SSH version 2. So let's just go back and do our keygen again. Bit of a delay. Alright, let's go straight into here. So crypto key generate RSA. Helps if you're in config T mark. Let's try that again, shall we? Crypto key generate RSA. Yes, I want to replace them, and I'll take them up to the 1024. Now we don't have the delays in the traffic. So back into our line VTY04, and we want to tell it we need transport input SSH. We should also put login local. And exit back out. And this is, I mean, if we're going to put some security in, we should also put our blocking for incorrect attempts. So going to block for 2 minutes if there's 3 attempts within 60 seconds. Okay, we'll end that and just do a show run to, so we've got our block for failed attempts if there's more than 3 failed attempts within a minute. We now have a domain name, and look, there's our local user database, and we have an automatic generation of an ACL, and we've put our local login. So now, just to get good habits, we'll copy run start, come back over to here, and let's try the telnet in. Again, that's where it used to be. Let's scroll down to where it was, exit out of our session, now we shouldn't be able to telnet in. Alright, so straight away telnet's no longer a possibility because we've told it only connect remote via SSH. And alright, let's go back to the desktop, and if we come up to the client, put in our IP address, and our username is remote in, and now we want to use our password. So you can see we've connected via SSH into the device. Now we go back to packet tracer and look at the capture. There's SSH. Now remember our telnet, every single one would tell us what each character was that we typed in. Now with SSH configured, we have secure remote access to our device, and that enables us to configure remotely and not give away sensitive information to anybody that's intercepting our traffic. So, and let's go back to our PC, exit out of the session. It'll take a couple of minutes. Alright, so if we want to reconnect with our remote in, but we make a mistake on boom, it's closed out, had 3 invalid attempts, try to re-establish, can't do it. Alright, maybe it's just a glitch in the re-establishment. I'll type in the boom. Now, in 2 minutes, I'll be re-establishing that connection. So I'll hit pause in the recording and do a time jump. Alright, for those that were paying attention down to the clock on the bottom left, the magic of time has passed by hitting the pause in the record. Re-establish, bang, we can now log in, type in the correct password, boom, we're in. So that's the magic of SSH, and that'll do for this lab video. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now.